everyone.
And Supreme Moore Omokunde. Did I say that correctly?
Almost, but it's good enough.
Well, no, it's not good enough. I'm not sure.
Omokunde.
Omokunde. Okay, I want to make sure I get that right. Okay, so welcome to both of you. And just to let everyone else know, officially I'd asked Mark to serve as a mentor to Supreme and Lauren to serve as a mentor to Bria. So coming on to the board, I know is new for all of you, and I apologize for those of you that joined it in COVID and all of that, but just wanted to talk about that because it's new for everybody.
First thing we got to do for my mentee
Yeah.
is get a better picture of him up on the wall. He looks way too much like Ashanti Hamilton.
And I'm guessing that Bria looks like Anne. Is that what you're going to say next or something? Yeah.
I'm going to avoid that one. It's,
On the website.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well, there you go. That's probably.
They train us to take pictures. Certainly.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, good. So I'm going to start with a roll call vote. Can I have a roll call?
Sure. Director Baker,
Here.
Director Burris,
Here.
Director Case,
Here.
Director Diaz.
Yeah.
Director Foley,
here,
Director Mendieta Ramos, Director Mays,
Here.
Director Moore Omokunde,
Here.
and Director Olson.
Here. You know if Silali will be joining us?
No.
Okay. Okay. Because that was a question of that. So thank you for that. Are we in compliance with the open meetings law?
Yes, Madam Chair, we are in compliance.
Okay. Next is our oath of office for the newly appointed and reappointed board members. So General Counsel, can you please confirm that all oaths of office for newly seating board members have been submitted?
Yes, they have. They both have signed their oaths and they are officially ready to serve.
Okay. And Director Mendieta Ramos also, right?
She did not come today, but
Okay,
we will
we'll
get
do that
her,
when she does.
we will
Okay.
get her signed off when she arrives.
Great. So I will now turn the meeting over to Attorney Falkenberg to officiate the election of officers for the MATC District Board.
Okay, well, good afternoon, everybody. We are here to elect the officers for fiscal year 2022-23 for chairperson, vice chairperson, secretary, and treasurer. These elections will be held in accordance with Wisconsin State Statutes, Chapter 38, governing the technical college system, and Chapter 19, governing general duties of public officials, and also in accordance with MATC District Board Policy A0107, procedures for district board meetings and public hearings. Before we begin today, let me review a few procedures for today's elections. Per policy A0107, the district board shall elect officers in the following order: chairperson, vice chairperson, secretary, and treasurer. I will call for nominations for each position. No second on a nomination is required. Without objection from the board, a single candidate election will be filled by acclamation or unanimous consent. This means there will be no call for a vote and the nominee will be declared elected, and that's for single candidate nominations. Are there any objections to proceeding in this manner for single candidate elections? All right, and then if we have multiple candidates without objection from the board, where two or more candidates are nominated for the election to an office, we will proceed with voting via voice vote. Are there any questions or objections regarding proceeding in this manner for multiple candidate elections? A majority of votes cast shall be required for the election of each officer if we do have multiple candidates. If there are ties, they will be decided in accordance with board policy A0107, which we will review if we need to do that. It's quite a lengthy process, so we won't go there unless we absolutely have to. So we will go ahead and get started, and I will take nominations for the position of chairperson.
I nominate Lisa Olson.
Any other nominations? Hearing none, we will assume Dr. Olson is appointed via acclamation. So congratulations, Director Olson. Thank you. I will now take nominations for vice chairperson.
I nominate Erica Case.
Okay, Director Case has been nominated for vice chairperson. Any other nominations for vice chairperson? Hearing none, Director Case, congratulations. Through acclamation, you have been appointed to vice chairperson. The next will be for secretary. Any nominations for secretary?
Well, you're looking at Foley, right?
We're looking at
I'm
Director
talking
Foley.
about that.
There's 8 or 7 others of you around the table.
No.
I'll nominate Bria Burris
What?
to be secretary. It's a great way to learn how to.
Wait a minute. Do I have to accept the nomination?
I don't know.
Yeah, no.
She-
No. Let's ease into this. You know? We'll ease into it. Any takers?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, any.
I'm, Madam Chair, I'm
Yeah.
happy to nominate Director Mindy Akers.
So any other nominations for secretary? Director Mendieta Ramos has been nominated. Any others? Hearing none.
It's, I did that because she's currently secretary. Has she agreed that she'd be willing to
Okay.
serve?
Jesus. My heart is racing here. It's like, what?
I am mentoring Bria. So
Yes.
Sure, you're ready to go in 23, 24.
It was totally my job to get her off of that limb that she's on.
She did not
Thank
say she
you.
did not want to. Sort of double
That's why
negative.
I'm not
Sorry,
sure
it was
if
under the bottom, yes.
if they do not, if they have not previously agreed to do it.
No, she's
I'm
not
looking
here
at
to
the lawyer.
reject it. That's what happens when you don't come.
Yeah.
Just kidding. No.
Note that
Yeah.
for next year.
I
Yeah.
think we can conditionally perhaps take her as the candidate for secretary. And if there are some issues around that, then we will have to see what we can do outside of this meeting. But based on that nomination, we will confirm her as through acclamation appointed to secretary.
Yeah, seems like some big shoes to fill at this moment.
Next year, take a breath.
And then the final officer position we have is for treasurer. Any nominations for the treasurer position?
When did this become my?
Okay, I'd like to nominate Director Mays for treasurer. I just help you out.
Director Mays has been nominated. Any other nominations? Congratulations, Director Mays. You are the nominated and confirmed for treasurer position. So that concludes our election. So I will turn the meeting back over to Chair Olson to complete the agenda for today's meeting.
Thank you. Next is our 2022-23 board meeting schedule. Do I have a motion to adopt the board meeting schedule as proposed?
I move to adopt the meeting schedule as proposed.
A second.
Thank you. The board meetings will continue to be held on the 4th Tuesday of the month at 4 p.m. As listed on the tentative schedule. Please note, however, that the December meeting is scheduled for the 2nd Tuesday to accommodate the seasonal activities as we look at that. So any questions related to the board meeting schedule? Okay,
Just
so we,
one
yeah,
quick one. Yeah, between my last life and this life
Yep.
here, the meetings moved from 5 o'clock to 4 o'clock. And I just wanted people to digest that for a moment, that 4 o'clock still worked for people's work schedules. Seeing as how I'm retired, it really doesn't matter to me, but you know, that is still accessible to everybody. 4 o'clock's a good thing.
Yeah, if I may, we did that as part of the restructuring 2 years ago when we eliminated the standing committees with the hope that we could shorten the length of the meetings. And I don't know why we went to 4 o'clock at that point, but that, to my recollection, is when we did it, at least within my memory.
it's only been 4 o'clock since I've been on. I just
Yeah.
finished year 5. So it's
Yeah.
been, at least for 5 years, they've been at 4 o'clock. So
Well, for about 80
Yeah.
years before that, they were at 5 o'clock.
yeah, so I
So part of that was just to accommodate people who, you know, getting here after work. So that's the reason why I just thought it's
I
valuable
am
to
no
revisit
argument to
that.
going to 5 o'clock because I literally work 2 jobs and have to leave work early to come to the board meeting. So it may be an hour and a half, about an hour and a half early to actually come to the board meeting. So, I mean, if you guys are okay with moving it to 5, I can certainly do 5 o'clock.
I mean, I can support 5. I think there's times though that we go late, and so my concern is going to 9 or 10 at night. Like,
Which we have at 4 o'clock. We've been
Right.
going till after 9. I
Mm.
don't want to be here after 10 o'clock.
right.
So I'm gonna say that unless we do something dramatically different, which I think we're gonna talk about in our retreat.
Yeah.
That's too late for those of us who are morning people and like put in full days before that.
Yep.
It's a long night going till after
Yeah.
10 o'clock. So that's my only caveat is starting later will, if it pushes it back an hour without making
You'll
any
end
other
up
changes
being
right
here later
now,
in the
there would have,
evening.
like, there were some, there was one this year that actually I was here till 10, so I can't be here till 11. So that's just me personally, but I can't, like, I don't know what everyone else does. So I'm okay with moving it till 5 if that works. But I want to look at the length of that, where we're going on the other end, because my understanding is right before he got on, we were meeting more than, so part of it was to accommodate longer meetings if they needed to, because we're only meeting once a month, so.
Do we have the ability to commit to an end time? I mean, sometimes we have agendas that go long, because I'm fine with starting at 5, but again, I don't want to be here beyond 10 o'clock at night either. So if, like, we can all commit to sticking to the agenda and or cutting it off at a certain point. I don't know if we have the authority to do that.
Requires the iron fist of the chair.
Yeah, I mean, if we can all commit that we do not want to be here that late, I am completely good with
Well,
starting.
part of
early.
it has to do with the structure of the agenda, where we've been getting some stuff in advance and not having to take the meeting time listening to. So if we're productive about the time that we're here, I don't think it should be that, but it's gonna have to sort of require all of us to do that then, so. Are there others? I want to hear from others on either side of it. I mean, who might have conflicts either side.
Well, I'm on the side on kind of going early.
Yeah, my preference is 4 o'clock only if, I certainly understand
Yeah.
your.
It's just
situation as
if we
well,
move
too.
it, just see if we can, like you said, probably be more productive and kind of get things ahead of time and see if we can move a bit faster with it. I'm okay with 5.
Do we, with us calling or with us having virtual options is an option for Bria to call in, like, for the first portion of it as she's getting here or en route, and that way is still present and potentially participating with having slightly less impact, maybe? I don't know how much that saves you.
How safe is that? So,
Oh, I don't know. I can virtual call, I suppose. And then just leave work at my regular time and make it here. So, say, because I think my technical day job is from 8 to 4:45. So, and that I think is about maybe 15, 20 minutes away. I don't mind calling in for that time and then just popping in after. And obviously, if I can, I'll just leave work on time, but
Okay, I'll withdraw the suggestion. I'm gonna pay attention to my own and the rest of our behavior on how late we do go, and then maybe we'll revisit it, next year, depending on who's on the board and whatever.
Right, and I do think we have that ability to change the start time if properly noticed, correct? It's not like if there would be something that we're, okay. So if we're realizing that it's a struggle for multiple people, even we could make that adjustment, or depending upon the agenda, we could do that. So right now I'm hearing that we're gonna leave it as it is, but monitor that and pay attention a little bit more to how our board agendas are going and what that looks like. Because if we're able to be really efficient and effective, right, that leaves that option out there. So, and then we'll see what we're going with. Okay. Any other discussion on that item? If not, I have a motion by Director Foley and second by Director Case that we approve the 22-23 board meeting schedule as proposed. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, next we do have some construction. We knew this was coming, renovation and remodeling projects that are on there. Do I have a motion to approve those proposed renovation remodeling contracts?
I'll move approval.
Second.
Okay. Janice, do you have more you would like to, so can you tell us more about these projects? It's telling you what it tells me to ask you. I don't know.
The information was there on your attachment. It is for some life safety upgrades to some of our projects that we're involved in right now in our foundation hall area. And this has been planned work, and this is part of the projects that you've approved for this fiscal year.
Any other questions related to that?
Yes.
Yes.
So where is our Hunsinger and Seltzer Orange located? And is there a diversity or DBE attached to them? Diversity Business Enterprise?
So they're both local firms, both of them, and we do have percentages that we require all of our, these are our general contractors to have subs and others who have some diversity requirements. We do have a hub participation requirement for our construction projects. We were in excess of 20% this last year. And so we do pay very close attention to that on the subs that they bring in to do the work under the general.
Okay, and local means from Milwaukee?
Yeah, I think they're both firms. I know Seltzer Orange is local. I don't know about Hunsinger particularly. I think they're both local Milwaukee region firms. I don't know if they're actually in the city of Milwaukee, but I know they're in the Milwaukee area.
Okay, thank you. That's all I have, Madam Chair.
Okay.
No, I already forgot who made the motion in second.
I mean,
Okay.
I second.
Okay, see, like you guys are, I just gotta, here, so we did have a motion by Director Baker and second by Director Foley to approve the construction, renovation, remodeling projects. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Before we close this part of it up, we do have some information items. Beth did send out, although nobody signed up for it yet, some assignments for some things related to committees and task force and that, and we do need to know who are Wisconsin, all of those that they're looking for the Technical College District Boards Association. So
When does it need to be returned back?
some of those need to be earlier than the other ones. Beth, did the district boards, well, I thought that one had a quicker turnaround on that. Or,
Well, it
I
would
mean,
be helpful to have it by the first meeting this July 22nd, I think.
okay.
First of all, I could not get the web functionality to work to sign up for it. I'm willing to
Okay.
continue to serve as our,
Because I knew
Member
that was the
board
one that
there.
had more, having a timely one rather than some of the other ones that are on here, like the foundation and that. So we could sign up old school on
Paper?
here if we, as long as everybody's here tonight, we route it around over the next couple hours if people wanted to do that. Or if you haven't given it, I mean, you should have gotten an email at least to give it some consideration, but if you have questions, maybe tonight would be the time to do that. So I'm going to pass it here and it can get routed over the next couple hours to those things that we want to do that. So that's items A and B under there for the information items, right? Those are the two
Right,
things on there. Yep. So that's so right. Yep. So can I have a motion to adjourn then as we get ready to move into our retreat?
Motion to adjourn.
Yes.
So the second one, representation to associated, that's all in here. And that's the legislative and the,
Yeah. The
Okay.
technical.
Okay.
Yep. Yep.
I'm good.
Okay.
Okay, motion to adjourn.
Is there a second? Who wants a second?
Second.
There you go. Okay, so we have a motion by Director Mason, second by Director Diaz to adjourn the meeting. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, we're in adjournment from that. We're gonna take, we need 5 minutes to rearrange or get ready for the retreat here. So if you haven't grabbed, I think everybody's got something to drink or whatever you need to do, get resituated. Thank you.
What is it?
I like, I didn't realize.